This is a KOAT-7 special presentation, forecasting our future, New Mexico's drought crisis.
Water. We value it so much in New Mexico. It's what brought people to settle here thousands of years ago, and it's what sustains us today.
In the winter, snow caps our mountaintops. When it melts, our rivers and streams thrive.
But something has changed in the land of enchantment, a drought unlike any other in recorded history.
It's changing the way we live, and decisions made now will impact how we thrive in the future.
KOAT's team of meteorologists are studying the science of changing weather patterns. Now, an in-depth look at the impacts of the drought we are all experiencing. Drought is complex. Basically, we're talking about the absence of water. But drought is characterized into 4 different types. First is meteorological drought. This happens when an unusually dry weather pattern dominates the area. Next, hydrological drought. This is when the low water supply develops, especially in streams, creeks, and reservoirs. Then there's agricultural drought. This occurs when the dry land starts to impact crops. Finally, socioeconomic drought, a type of drought when water supply cannot meet the water demands, such as the demands for fruits, vegetables, grains, and meats. Here is the real eye-opening fact. Right now, many parts of New Mexico are experiencing not one, but all 4 categories of drought. The Dust Bowl of the 30s was a bad time for our state. Parts of eastern New Mexico being hit so hard that strong winds picked up the topsoil and blew it away into huge clouds of dust. The dust storms killed livestock and destroyed crops. Then came the 50s. For 7 years, the state was devastatingly dry. Crops failed and many farmers and ranchers went under. But now, not only are parts of our state dealing with all 4 categories of drought, but also dealing with a steadily warming earth, a pattern that can take your basic drought cycle and make it more frequent and more severe. Yes, some of this is part of a natural occurrence, but also due to human-caused warming. History shows us that wet and dry periods often run in 20 or 30-year cycles. For instance, during a dry cycle, you can have wet years, but they are outnumbered by the dry years.
Now on Wednesday, mixture of clouds and sunshine from a disturbance that's moving on in, maybe a shower.
I remember what it was like to forecast during a wet cycle, a wet period that first started taking hold during the 80s. Most of the time, rain and snow were plentiful, and there was very little talk about drought. That's right, little talk about drought during that time. This dry cycle started around the year 2000. You'd often think by now we'd be seeing the beginnings of a wet cycle. However, we are more than 20 years into this historic mega drought, and there's nothing to suggest changes anytime soon. Meaning conditions could get much worse. Wildfires have become more frequent and more intense. Lower water levels in our reservoirs, changes to our lifestyle and recreation, and questions on whether there'll be enough water for our crops, livestock, and drinking water. Even during an intense drought, there will be times of much needed rain and snow. The question is, how long will we have to wait?
We have mountain snowpack beginning to melt right now, but not all of that moisture ends up soaking into the ground or flowing into rivers and streams. New Mexico's dry air and tall mountains set up a perfect combination for what's called sublimation. The snow doesn't melt, it changes directly to water vapor. It's really hard to see in nature, but a good example is a block of dry ice. It doesn't melt as it comes up to room temperature, but instead vaporizes into the atmosphere. In New Mexico, sublimation basically steals some of our valuable snowpack on sunny days with low humidity and high wind. Our Rio Grande provides water for hundreds of farms throughout the state, but how do farms further away from the river get the water they need?
Yeah, Action 7 News reporter Angel Salcido takes us inside the history of an acequia, a tool that farmers in our state have used for centuries.
Grandpa would be sweating and he'd wiggle that old plow out and set it back down.
Meet Don Bustos.
Kick off his hat like this and he'd go swipe the sweat off his brow, and at the same time he'd say, "Oh, hala!"
His family has farmed this land in Española for generations.
He would tell me, "Hear me, Hito, grab the reins of this mule and you guide that mule down that furrow."
And in a desert climate with snow-capped mountains, Don's family's farm has survived through this, their historic acequia.
This acequia is over 400 years old. It's 7 miles long And it was dug by hand with wooden shovels and sticks.
And that's not even the most impressive thing about it.
Our acequia is one of the only acequias in New Mexico that flow north. All the other acequias flow south, right?
It brings water all the way from the Santa Cruz Reservoir to his farm in Española.
And I stand here, I don't even know if they could do that with the Google GPS nowadays, no.
But it doesn't just bring water to Don and his family. Each acequia has a barranco, which is a ravine where the water flows, and these access gates that can be raised or lowered. Don is the mayordomo of his acequia, so he controls his access gate and decides how much water is released further downstream.
Before there was a U.S. government, before there was a Mexican government or anything, the law of the land, law of the water.
Acequias like Don's have been a staple in New Mexican culture for more than 400 years. You can find them everywhere, from here in Española. Even here in the metro, our state has around 700 different acequias, and each one of them has a very important purpose.
The acequia is the lifeblood of New Mexico. We're able to grow food 12 months a year using nothing but solar energy. The way we get our water supply is from the acequias in the stream.
This acequia has given lifelong memories to Don and his family.
And I remember being down in the bottom field irrigating the cornfields. The barranco is where the water flows in the ditch now and broke. I told my little brother, Avran, lay across there, Avran, and I'll throw dirt on you. So I was madly throwing dirt on the water, controlling it. I thought it was good. My mom caught up to me. I'm throwing your brother in the acequia, and what are you doing? You're not paying attention.
From his elders?
I came up for lunch, to eat lunch, and she goes, hey, mijito, I'm feeling a little tired. I'm gonna go take a nap. So I walked her from my house across that bridge you're standing on. She went to sleep and never woke up again. I got to walk her across the bridge to her next life. Estamos bendecidos.
All the way to the next generation.
I got a grandson that's at college, and he goes, Grandpa, when I get out of college, I'm gonna come back and teach you how to really farm. So I go, great.
Don says the tradition and culture behind the acequia will live on.
It's more than a livelihood, it's a passion. Viva las acequias!
Angel Salcido, KOAT, Action 7 News.
Don Bustos says the snowfall we get each year determines how often mayordomos like himself can release water downstream to the rest of the community.
New Mexico is a huge and very dry state. In fact, New Mexico is the 5th largest state in the nation, covering over 121,000 square miles. But it's also the 5th driest state in the nation, averaging less than 14 inches of rainfall and melted snowfall each year. That's why every drop of rain and flake of snow is so vital to fill our rivers like the Rio Grande, and our lakes like Cochiti Lake, and our reservoirs like Elephant Butte. This water, or liquid gold, provides all of us with what we need to survive in a very dry state. And now, as temperatures continue to warm, less and less of those raindrops and snowflakes are making it into our rivers, lakes, and reservoirs. A recent study shows 10% more water is leaving our land through evaporation in just the past 2 decades. One Band-Aid for our water deficit is the San Juan Chama Drinking Water Project, which takes water from Colorado and diverts it into the Rio Grande, providing Pecanos with our drinking water. But this Band-Aid is just that, because as our temperatures continue to warm all over, our water resources are forecast to continue to dry up. All the while, our demand will keep climbing.
But all of that water isn't ours to keep. States with the Rio Grande running through them have an agreement to share water. New Mexico, Colorado, and Texas are part of the Rio Grande Compact. It's been in place nearly 100 years, and in that time, not much has changed with how it works. What has changed, though, is the environment.
Climate change makes implementation of the compact a lot more challenging because it's changing the river in fundamental ways.
The agreement allows for changes in how much water each state gets. In a wet year, each state gets more water, and in a dry year, everyone gets less.
This is New Mexico, and we have this long history of water sharing. It goes back to the repartimientos, the water sharing agreements of the Acequia culture, that when there's less water, everybody gets together and shares.
Water being held at Elephant Butte is released downstream for people in southern New Mexico and eventually Texas. The states don't always agree on how the compact should be enforced. Texas is suing, saying New Mexico is taking more than its fair share. The case is before the Supreme Court now. New water agreements are still being made today. A new one just happened at the beginning of this year with the tribe and the state. The Jicarilla Apache Nation will lease water to the State Interstate Stream Commission for the next 10 years. It means about 6.5 billion gallons gallons a year will be released into the San Juan River.
This will benefit the entire ecology of the San Juan River. It's an incredible river that just serves incredible habitat and biodiversity amongst many river miles.
2 endangered fish, the Colorado pike minnow and the razorback sucker, live in the San Juan River, along with a number of sensitive species. Drought can really impact all things that live in and along the waterways.
You can physically see some of the impacts of our drought right here in the Bosque. Cottonwoods evolved to be self-pruning trees, so when they're not getting enough water, they drop their branches. That's why it's best to avoid them when it's windy. Some of these trees date back to the 1940s and are nearing the end of their natural life cycle. And the lowered water table is a concern for younger trees trying to grow.
Sometimes some of the younger cottonwoods, the seedlings, can be more susceptible because they haven't developed that larger root system.
As the cottonwoods reach the end of their lives, experts say it wouldn't be surprising if elm trees replace the older cottonwoods if water conditions don't improve.
Still to come on Forecasting Our Future, growing one of New Mexico's signature crops through drought.
If you're not able to adapt, then you're going to be out. That's all there is to it.
How farmers are changing their approach to see their crops through to harvest. Plus, making unusable water usable. A New Mexico project that could provide more clean water to the world. And allergy impacts, why the drought crisis could mean your seasonal symptoms may happen more often. Our team of meteorologists here at KOAT are studying data behind New Mexico's drought crisis. Water is always important in the Southwest, but even more so during a mega drought.
We can see water in rivers and streams, but it's the water that we can't see that is becoming more and more important. Meteorologist Kelly Franson explains.
When you think of the water supply in New Mexico, you probably think of snow falling on our mountains in the winter. And then in the summer, monsoon storms produce heavy rainfall with lots of thunder and lightning. You also think of the water held in our reservoirs and flowing through our rivers. But water is also stored below the surface. We call this groundwater. According to the United States Environmental Protection Agency, about 87% of New Mexico's public water supply comes from groundwater. Groundwater can be found in the tiny spaces between sand grains and gravel, within cracks, and in small caves dissolved out of rock. Now, most ground can store water, but water needs to be able to easily move through the rock or sediment to be a useful aquifer. There are 39 underground water basins in New Mexico, but many of these resources are being used far faster than they can be replenished. Aquifers are recharged or refilled by water seeping down through the Earth's surface. Many New Mexicans have wells for their crops and for their homes. Accessing that underground water is difficult, and whoever drills the well has to be licensed by the state engineer.
Pecan farmers in the Mesilla Valley have adapted to life in drought.
Reporter Stephanie Muniz found they depend on groundwater to keep crops alive.
The pecan industry in New Mexico is one of the largest in the country, and it's one of the crops that grows perfectly in the Mesilla Valley.
We grow more pecans in this region than anywhere else in the world. It is specifically our dry climate that makes them so productive and makes us able to deliver those pecans to meet a global demand.
Being a farmer in a drought is no easy task. Constantly changing how farmers operate is a must.
What necessarily worked for your grandpa may not work for you. If you're not able to adapt, then you're going to be out. That's all there is to it. You're not going to last.
Although many settlers did choose to farm near the Rio Grande because of the water supply, now
we use groundwater wells to supplement our surface water supply. We use pipelines to move the water around on the farm. We use concrete irrigation ditches and high flow turnouts.
This is just one of the irrigation systems that Mesilla Valley farmers use. These trees here have just been harvested, but just in a few months, this will be full of water. Because of the drought and limited groundwater, farmers have to manage it well.
How much product do I provide consumers for each unit of water that gets consumed by the plant? That is key no matter what we are growing.
One way farmers have been able to adapt is by renting out a different piece of land, pumping out groundwater, and using it for pecan orchards.
What's the future of the pecan industry in New Mexico?
Stephanie, it's really questionable what our future will be. We wonder too. I can't tell you.
When it comes to growing pecans, the cycle is repetitive.
It is a circle that never ends. In New Mexico, the traditional start to our harvest is Thanksgiving. We're waiting for a freeze to bring the leaves off the trees.
By the end of January, the trees are pruned and the soil is treated. From the spring until the summer, trees are being watered. Although there are challenges to be a farmer, they are optimistic.
Eat all the pecans you want. I promise we'll make more.
Reporting in the Mesilla Valley, Stephanie Muñiz, KOAT Action 7 News.
Canals in Mesilla Valley have been around since before Elephant Butte Dam was built.
Crops like pecans and green chili have been grown in New Mexico for generations, but there's a crop that is a bit newer when it comes to mass production.
Medical marijuana has been legal since 2007, and now that industry is growing with recreational marijuana stores opening in a matter of days. Stella Sun takes a look at the water needed to raise large crops of cannabis.
Rows and rows of cannabis. All this will soon hit the shelves.
We want to be able to meet the demand of New Mexicans. And we've been able to keep our consumption of water fairly low on this property because of our grow method.
As recreational sales roll out, New Mexico battles a mega drought.
I think that drought is concerning for all of us.
The Cannabis Research Center at UC Berkeley finds growing cannabis uses around the same amount of water as other crops. We spoke with the Office of the State Engineer, which handles all the New Mexico water usage, whether they worry cannabis production will make the water crisis worse.
Not really, because it's a new crop. It's, we've got water for other crops like alfalfa, hay, corn, chili, pecans. So somebody's gonna have a water right.
The water right he's referencing is in the New Mexico Constitution. It says all the water in the state belongs to the public, and the right to use it is called a water right. The law legalizing recreational sales says cannabis producers must prove they have it.
We've made sure that the legislation that we have and is currently on the books is thoughtful and supports our efforts to fight climate change.
Representative Andrea Romero says it's the only law in the state where an industry must prove water rights before being able to get a license. That way, not everyone can mass produce. The state engineer's office says only 15 cannabis cultivators have proven water rights. One of them is Everest.
This drip irrigation really controls the amount of water that goes into the plants, and then the soil keeps it and holds it instead of just having it drain right through.
Kirk says over the years in the medical cannabis business, they've learned to use soil that retains water better and use more effective watering methods. Reporting, I'm Stella Sun, KOAT Action 7 News.
Cannabis sales will start April 1st.
The running joke is that New Mexico actually has 5 seasons: spring, summer, fall, winter, and wind. April is the windiest month of the year, but depending on where you live, high wind can happen anytime. It is more frequent in the spring because the sun generates more heat near the surface and that warm air rises. If there is a strong jet stream above us, as the surface air rises, strong jet stream winds can mix down, and those gusty conditions often produce damaging winds and dust storms. That blowing dust also impacts our air quality.
But several other hazards in the air can cause problems. Our data shows there are issues that will only get worse as the climate warms.
Spring is our windy season, and it's also our traditional wildfire season. May and June are historically bad months for fires, some growing to thousands of acres with giant smoke plumes. Breathing in that smoke creates a negative reaction in your lungs.
They release a lot of inflammatory factors that can damage the lung or systems outside of the lung, like your brain, your heart, a growing placenta or fetus. So there's potentially widespread health risks associated with the wildfire smoke.
Warmer winters with less snowpack, along with monsoon storms typically starting later with less rainfall, are both making for an overall longer fire season. Our gradually warming and drying climate looks to be increasingly vulnerable to wildfires and smoke in the air.
Spring's green up is always such a welcome sight, but this is also when our pollen counts get very high.
It can be a very severe outcome with bronchoconstriction, really challenging the individual's ability to breathe.
Allergy meds certainly do help, but they come at a price. You can limit your time outdoors, especially during our pollen season, but that's also getting longer due to fewer nights below freezing.
We also have a new summer hazard, one that is becoming more common: ozone.
Ozone forms on sunny days when the air is stationary. Compounds from exhaust emissions react with the sun's ultraviolet light.
It is damage. At the molecular level, ozone can reduce the growth of the lung, it does predispose people to the development of asthma and diseases of that nature.
A warming climate with later and less intense monsoon seasons will likely only make our exposure to high ozone days more common.
Tapping into a new supply of water. The New Mexico project putting otherwise unusable salt water to work. And water saving at home, what you can do now to cut your dependence on a dwindling resource. As we study New Mexico's drought crisis to forecast our future, we know that part of having problems is finding solutions.
Action 7 News reporter John Cardinale takes us to a facility in Alamogordo that's tapping into a water supply that up until now hasn't been usable.
Believe it or not, most of Earth's water is unusable for consumption.
Around 1% to 2% of water is considered fresh.
That means a vast majority of the water on Earth contains salt. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, over 30% of Earth's water is in underground aquifers. Some of it is brackish water. In 2007, the Brackish Groundwater National Desalination Research Facility opened up in Alamogordo, New Mexico.
What we do here at this facility is find ways to take the salt out so it can be drinkable or used for agriculture or use it by industry.
Now this right here is one of 4 wells on the property, and it pumps about 80 gallons per minute from the Tularosa Basin, which is right beneath us right now. That water is then moved into those storage tanks right there, then transferred over to the facility where it's transformed into usable water.
Most of these are a process where it's using a membrane to separate the water and the salts, and so it's pretty quick.
Melinda Capel is the facility manager. She showed us a membrane and how it works. Salty water is pumped through under pressure. While passing through the membrane, salt is separated. To put things into perspective, this is how much salt per liter is being pumped out of well 2 here at the facility. Once it's transformed into clean water, this is how much salt is left per liter. Transforming the salty water underground into clean, usable water.
If you have this much of water that's fresh groundwater, and then you can supplement with desalination water, then you can somewhat mitigate the changes that are happening with seasons and climate change.
Technology being tested at the facility has been installed for municipal desalination all across the nation.
Many of the realities of drought are far outside the control of everyday New Mexicans, but there are changes at home that you can do that help. Choose desert-friendly plants that don't need constant watering. Nurseries can tell you about trees that are more resilient to drought. They are called climate-ready trees. They can shade surfaces so concrete walls and driveways aren't in the direct sun. Capture rainwater in barrels and use that to water plants. And mulch everything, insulates plant roots and keeps the moisture in the soil. And don't plant grass. Lawns require 5 times the rainfall Albuquerque gets every year. Experts say sprinkler systems are water wasters and often spray the sidewalk and driveway more than the grass. They recommend replacing grass lawns with native plants.
It has a diversity of plants that pertain to this region, so it adds pollinators, it adds more life to your garden. Ultimately, you end up with a more beautiful landscape palette. And at the same time, you're saving water.
You can even get rebates in Albuquerque for making these changes. Check out 505 Outside for that and a list of plants that love growing in New Mexico.
The hope for the future, understanding long-term impacts of mega drought in the West. We have been in this mega drought for more than 20 years. Researchers say this is the worst drought we have had in 1,200 years. And it would take a lot to climb out of this dreadful pattern. On the drought monitor, the darker shades show the deeper areas of drought. It would take at least 5 consecutive years of normal to above normal rain and snow to perhaps show big improvements in the drought monitor. But the long-term effects are much more complex. For instance, our reservoirs are historically low. They've been lower than normal since the 1990s. We would need to switch to a wet pattern like we had in the 80s and 90s to raise our reservoirs to normal levels. Remember, often a drought winds down after 20 years or so. Unfortunately, we don't see a wet pattern on the horizon, meaning that we'll likely be dealing with this mega drought for more years to come.
Monsoon rain can cause flooding, similar to what happened in Roswell last May.
Yeah, monsoon downpours can drop a lot of rain in a short amount of time, and when that happens, it doesn't have time to soak into the ground. Most of it goes into our waterways, so we're not seeing a major benefit when it comes to drought relief.
The National Drought Center calculates that most of our state would need 3 or even up to 6 inches of rain over a 4-week period before we could call our state drought-free. But even then, we would still have some abnormally dry spots and still need more rain going forward, or we would slip right back into drought.
There are a number of causes behind the drought we are experiencing. A recent study in the Journal of Nature showed the drought has no sign of easing up in the near future.
There's always hope that it will change. 2015 brought lots of rain and 2006 saw lots of snow. And we can always hope for big rains for this upcoming monsoon season.
Right now, we are forced to work with the ground moisture and the water stored in our reservoirs.
While we wait for relief in the weather patterns, we can all work to understand the science of the drought crisis. Understanding can lead to change both in your home and changes our leaders can make on a bigger scale.
Our team of meteorologists here at KOAT will keep you weather aware, tracking what's happening here in the land of enchantment. Thank you for joining us for Forecasting Our Future, New Mexico's Drought Crisis.